What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. GIJoe75 coming at you with a brand new action figure review. Today we are doing the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Carded Rock and Roll. Full name Craig Rock and Roll McConnell. Coming around the back side of the box here, we got the rest of the wave, Dr. Mindbender, and the Cobra Viper. Let's check out his little cutout card here. We got other languages, but we're going right to the English here. Machine gunner was his role. Primary speciality was infantry. Secondary speciality is PT instructor. Birthplace Malibu, California. And the little write-up here, rock and roll was a surfer and weightlifter in Malibu prior to enlistment. He also played bass guitar in local rock bands. He possesses a strong sense of loyalty to his teammates and is a man of honor and integrity who can be counted on to hold the line. So I was cut these out. Check out the front of the box here. We got rock and roll all decked out in his army green machine gun, helmet, pistol, phone. Looks like another chain of bullets here. We got some swappable hands. This guy up here, I think that's the cartridge for the heavy machine gun. So let's rip this guy open and see what rock and roll is all about. All right, we got rock and roll out of the box, and I gotta say this figure is, I would say most likely a vast improvement over the original offering. This is the original look of rock and roll, all decked out in his green army gear. Looking pretty good. Very similar, the bullets strapped around the chest. All of the straps and holsters and such, pretty much all the same. We'll check that out during comparisons. But this is a nice looking figure. Now I'm going to tell you a little story about my experience with rock and roll as a kid. Back in the 80s, rock and roll was one of my, well, I got him and two other figures and a vehicle. Those were my first G.I. Joes. So it was rock and roll, Breaker, Major Blood, and a Fang Copter. That's what Daddy came home with. And I was quite pleased. Busting out the old measuring stick here, we got about 6 1/8 inches in height. As far as accessories, we have the helmet here. All in the monochromatic green, except for these little patches here. Why would you have a patch on the back of your helmet? That's kind of weird, but the original did come that way. He comes affixed with the two trigger pulling hands. And then also we got the fist for the right hand, and then for the left, we got the devil horns. Pretty neat. Of course, we do have the stand and the glossy black, double pegged with the shooting star of G.I. Joe emblem. We got his little walkie-talkie phone. Flexi antenna there. You got his little pistol, which is kind of bent out of shape. It's a little wacky looking. Just a tad. Just got to kind of bend him back down like that. But Again, same exact accessories as the original offering. We got this little bullet pack, holds the chain in there. Of course, this does come out, like so. Just giving the illusion that it's feeding the bullets out into the gun. Then we actually have the chain that you can insert into the gun. I like this more than the original as well, along with the ones that are strapped around his chest here. You get the kind of the bullet metal coloring, where before it was just kind of like a brown or a beige. So big improvement there. Yeah, just to kind of give you a look here, I'm going to bring in this rock and roll, but so here it almost doesn't look like bullets. Here it's pretty obvious. So, and then of course we got the big heavy machine gun. There's the hole for the bullets to feed through. Got a nice little handle up top there, and then of course these come down for when he's on the ground. Articulation wise, here let's there we go. His head moves around and round. Nice little pivot there. Shoulders go up about that high. Go around, double jointed elbows, pinless. Pivot and twist on the wrist. Stomach crunch, stomach twist or waist twist. Does the splits about like that. We got cuts at the thigh, double jointed knees. Pretty stiff. Very stiff. There we go. He can pretty much kick his own butt. There we go. Don't want to break them. And then, of course, we got a boot cut. And we got the tilt. And pivot on the ankle. And then as far as the paint, there's no real mishaps or anything. No real flaws. I like the kind of wash on the hair here. It's kind of a dirty blonde. And then, of course, I like the green because it's more representative of the original figure. I'm not really sure what the last one was representative of. He's totally different. He's got kind of the white on the chest or on the torso, and he's all loaded up with tattoos. He's got like almost like a wrist bracelet with bullets on it. I don't know if he's more of like a hipster style rock and roll, more modern, but I don't really like it. This one is far superior. And as I said, you know, one of my original figures was rock and roll, and this is a good representative of that figure back in the day. You got the blonde beard. That's how I remember him. So yeah, nice figure, nice paint. Articulation's decent. We do got the butterflies back here too, I forgot to mention before. One thing Not sure about the dark eyebrows, but it's not really a deal breaker. I believe the older one had the blonde eyebrows. So, yeah, decent figure. Let's get some poses and get all his accessories affixed to the figure, and let us do some comparisons. Be right back. All right, we got the figure all geared up and ready to rock and roll. Got the little blast effect on the tip of the heavy machine gun here. I kind of had to force it in there, but it's in there. Kind of. I'm going to have to kind of force it in there a little bit more. I do like this chain of bullets here, although I wish it was a little more like limp or flexible. Got it feeding out of the box around the arm and into the gun. Looking like Animal Mother, like from Full Metal Jacket. Come on, get some. Get some. Just yanked this little thing of bullets out of that box out here, and then just put the longer chain of bullets in there. He's got that, which pops onto the belt. Also, the cellular phone pops into his belt here. If you see that, likes to pop out a lot. The holster here, as well as this little thing, will slide off. So they are removable. We got the gun in the holster there. And the helmet is on. I'm going to give this figure a 7.5. I do like this figure a lot. It is reminiscent of the original look. Let's put this back here so we don't lose it. Put him on his little stand here. So yeah, great looking figure. I like him in all the green. I just wasn't really sure what was yet to come. The original offering wasn't really my rock and roll, to be honest. I don't know if he wore that gear at some point in time, but it kind of seemed like the hipster version. Get him on the stand there. You know, with all the tattoos and whatever. But there are a few things that I like better about that figure. Let's bring him out now. I don't really like the tattoos that much. But this is pretty much the same molding. As you can see, where the white, lighter part of the shirt transitions into the green. There is kind of a pattern there. There's a little stripe there that separates them. You can see that here on the sleeve especially. And then it goes across, shoots across the chest. So they did use the exact same buck for this guy. You got this little bracelet of bullets. I don't know if I really like that. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks to be added tattoos. So yes, very hipster. One thing though I do like is this helmet. It says Hang 10. Rock and roll was a surfer. So, but just gotta go with the original look, you know. I think everything about this figure is better, except for the Hang 10 on the helmet, which I might hold on to and swap the helmets, or maybe I'll sell Rock and Roll Sans helmet. Like as I mentioned before, Rock and Roll and Breaker were my first Joes, so let's bring in Breaker. He's kneeling down, he's talking into his watch. We need some help down here. This backpack, I don't know if I really like these backpacks. It's kind of like a radio backpack with an antenna on it. Ooh, don't fall down there, buddy. So So it's kind of loosey-goosey, but yeah. We'll get this guy out of the way. These two here, front and center. Those were my first Joes. Now, if we want to bring in a bad guy, that was my first Cobra action figure, Major Blood. So these three right here are my first figures back in the 80s. And I got that Fang Copter as well. And boy, that vehicle was awesome. I'm pretty sure they could make that again. And, you know, put a driver in the box, just like the Vamp. And hopefully they would only sell it for $100. Just like the Vamp with driver, clutch. That would be nice. I would love a Fang Copter. And, you know, hopefully on those skis of the copter, you know, you get little pegs so you can put guys on there and stand, so you can actually get 3 figures onto the Fang Copter. So you got the pilot and the 2 guys holding onto the skis. You got the missiles on the skis. It would be awesome. I would be super happy. So we're going to put Major Blood back there with Rock and Roll, and we're going to bring out some other guys that were part of that first wave. And here we got Grunt. And then let's bring in Stalker. Scarlet, the original version, which I'm not a huge fan of. I kind of do like the face, but she's looking like Becky Lynch right there, I gotta say. But I don't mind that head sculpt that much, but I just don't know about this armor like this. Stuff on the boots, that shit is way too busy. I do have the retro version. I just have yet to bust her out of the card. But yeah, I don't know. So might have to pack this one with the older Rock and Roll. The older Rock and Roll. And ship them out. And then finally we got Snake Eyes. Put them over by Scarlet since they're such buddy. So all we really need is, who is it? Is it Flash, Short Fuse, and Zap? Is that right? So, yeah, wouldn't that be nice? And I mean, all these guys kind of come in, they're plain green. They're all like kind of monochromatic except for Scarlet. Stalker's got the fatigues on. But you got Grunt, Breaker, and Rock and Roll all in just the straight green, which I kind of like. So, a little ode to the originals there. What did I rate them? I think 7.5, 7.5. So, I'll stick with that. Love the figure, though. I would recommend picking up the Rock and Roll as well as the other 2 figures in the wave, Dr. Mindbender and the Cobra Viper. So we're going to pack it up now, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on my other reviews. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. I believe I'm going to be doing Darklon because I got my order in from Amazon and I'm super stoked for this figure. So we're going to move right into that one. Peace out, guys. And of course, hang 10. Peace!